Welcome to the Center of the Saint. I'm Melissa Bell.
And I'm Allison Kane.
Okay, so fun fact. I think that if I wanted to give you one statement for what last year taught me, it's question everything.
Okay.
Okay, so this is twofold. I keep getting calls from the doctor's office. Oh, by the way, it's cold and flu season. Come get your vaccine. Oh, you're 50. Come do this. Come do that. And I'm thinking, no, I'm not. And I was like, why do I not trust the medical field? I was like, oh, no, I now know. I remember.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I didn't know where you were going with that, but I was like, what? I get you.
Yeah.
And I was actually listening to something on the radio yesterday. It was that like People's Pharmacy or something.
Okay.
They're interesting. They talk about medical stuff. Anyway, I was in the car going to the grocery store, and they were talking about how they used to say, have margarine and do all this other stuff. And now it's like, all of that's really bad for you. You should only have butter and things without fat. And how did all this change? And I'm like, yeah, it always changes.
Yeah.
I mean, we never not had butter. My dad would never have had plastic on the table is what he called it. But you really have to think for yourself.
Yes, so think for yourself is such a better positive spin than question everything.
I'm like, you can't just listen to what other people say, even us. You have to this is everything in life. We always say, don't just listen to what we say, what your pastor says, get into the Word of God. It's the same thing with everything else in life.
So
Do not just listen to what everybody says. Do your own blank research. Okay, people? Do not be dumb.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Or not dumb. You're not being, I'm sorry. That's so rude. That is not what you're being. You're just too busy, or you trust people maybe too much, or whatever. But okay, I'm going down a bad rabbit hole here.
Okay, I'm going to save you.
Save me.
So, yeah, I question the medical field. I question the government, right?
Yeah.
Question everything you hear. Go do the research for yourself on anything. I feel like that is what this year is going to be all about. But you said, don't listen to what other people say. Figure it out for yourself. Yeah. And I think one thing we didn't talk about last week, we talked about 2025 and wrapping it up and what 2026 looks like. And one thing I think is so important is for us to pause and ask, what did we learn about ourselves last year? Mm. Not what did the world tell us about ourselves last year? Yeah. What does what did we learn about ourselves last year and everything?
I loved this question that you gave me. And I was actually a little bit surprised.
Oh.
Yeah, at what I wrote.
Okay.
You want me to go first?
I do.
Okay. I wrote a couple of things, but one was that sometimes I feel guilty when God blesses me in surprising ways. Because it totally, I know I don't deserve it at all, but He does it anyway. Mm-hmm. And it really humbles me.
Yeah.
In a really, it brings me to tears. In ways, and I'm not talking like, oh, I won the lottery. I'm not talking about that. And when I say blessing, it's just these little things that He does. Maybe it's an opportunity or a relationship. I don't know. I'm just always in awe. I don't know why after all these years, but I hope it never stops. I'm always in awe of His great love for us. Mm-hmm. And that he really does love us and want to use us for His glory, and He lets us work alongside Him, and He blesses us for it. And but it was interesting to write that sometimes I feel guilty about that.
Yeah. Did you dive into that a little more?
I didn't. I moved on to the next one.
I bet I would do the same thing.
I'm grateful that I no longer feel like I have to earn His love and His blessings. even when they are overwhelming. I feel content in sticking with his plan for the first time in my life and not striving. This is a really big victory for me.
I would say.
This is really big. It was neat to be able to write it. So I have guilty and grateful. I don't even mean to do alliteration, and I do. But I also, after so many years of life, and I know that there's hopefully so many more to go, and definitely so many more lessons for whatever time is left, but really happy it's not like I'm, how do I describe it? It's more settled. Happy, not like joyful, like everything's good all the time. Everything is definitely not good all the time, right?
Amen.
We live in reality in life on this planet. But several years ago, my word for the year was settled. And I mean, it was my word for the year, great. But I feel that was years, like probably 5 or 6 years ago. And this year, it feels as if it happened. So I guess it's been 5 or 6 years in the making.
Yeah.
But I think that goes back to no longer feeling like I have to work for God's love. That I have to do things to be accepted and forgiven and loved by Him.
Right.
I just am.
You just are. We all are.
We all are. And I don't know. I guess I'm y'all know if you've listened to the podcast, listen to the podcast. I'm a slow learner. I'm a late bloomer. I mean, I know that there are going to be times when I forget this again, which is what's frustrating. Times of epic failure or disappointment or whatever, mess ups, but it felt really good to write those things down. So I appreciated the opportunity to think about them.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you think that not feeling like you have to perform, so to speak, has anything to do with you're kind of out of the system again? So your son's graduated. Mm-hmm. So, you're out of that school system. You're out of the pressure of all the extra voices.
Mm. No, I mean, I think that certainly helps, but there are always those other voices.
Yeah.
I mean, I think even when you get rid of one, you replace it with another. I think truly it has to do with working through a lot of things like lies and things that I believed that aren't necessarily, they're God's promises, but I was in my monkey brain, I call it, and just messing it all up, turning it upside down, and just, through counseling and scripture meditation and really just a lot of heart work over the years. I think it came from that.
Okay. I think, I have a bubble that I live in because we don't do the school system and we, so I think that helps probably keep me a little more in line, but that's definitely an overstatement. I'm not in line with anything.
But you have 1,000 other groups. That's the thing. Like, the school was never really that big of a thing for me. I never felt like I had to perform for them. I just let the people do it.
Well, I think the social pressures that come with that, like the moms that you're with and the, kids and that sort of thing.
That really lessens. I mean, it's really just your kids doing stuff by the time you get to middle and high school.
See how much I don't know about.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing their thing. How about you?
Well, funny you should bring up a word of the year. I don't do the word of the year. That's not really my thing. But I feel like God smacked one on me this morning, and it is not a good word.
Oh, okay.
It's uncomfortable.
I've had that one before.
I don't like it. I tried to look up synonyms, and they're worse. I was like, let me make this fun. No, not fun. There was no good synonym for that.
Oh, I'm actually so excited for you.
Aw, you love me so much. You're excited for me to get uncomfortable.
I just feel like when I went through that, when that was my focus, I grew so close to God during that time. And I learned to be, by the end, I mean, when we become comfortable in the uncomfortable, is when we grow the most.
Uh-huh.
Because if we're living comfortably and everything seems, just so great and we're going along with things, something's not right. Mm-hmm. If we don't feel a little, if we feel as if we fit in everywhere, something's
Right.
wrong in this world.
Yes. Yeah, I often say, hey, what's the crowd doing? Because I don't want to do that.
Exactly. Opposite.
Yeah.
Next exit, please. Exactly.
Yeah, so that was my word. What did I learn about myself last year? Oh boy, the stories we could tell. So, I think the reason uncomfortable scares me so much is because I've been so uncomfortable. We know I just got off of this radical reset. I think I'm still resetting. So like, oh gosh, that's really scary. It's going to get more uncomfortable. But what I learned about myself last year, I don't know if anybody else, I'm sure there are many people where I'm at right now in life. You feel like you're the first one to stand up in your family from the trauma. I just keep envisioning this really large field, and it's windy and it's debris everywhere, and I just stand up and I start to look around and I try to get my bearings and I try to get my feet underneath me, and then I start to learn how to walk. And I feel like this is what I did in life. I was the first one from my perspective. So everyone else could argue this, and that's okay. This is my story. I was the first one to stand up and go, no, we're not going to do this. I'm going to stop this trajectory. I'm going to stop this pattern in the family. I'm going to stop this history, whatever. And so I've done the hard work and continue to do the hard work to heal. Well, then me personally, I felt the responsibility very heavily to give every single person in my family the opportunity to have the same chance that I got. Not that I can be God for them, but I can give them a place to settle in and feel safe for a minute and kind of get their bearings. Like, coming out of a bad storm, you just want to be in a home near a warm fire for a little bit.
The shelter.
And so I guess maybe I felt the need to shelter every single person in my family, which is not a lot. Thank goodness my family's not that big.
That's a great responsibility and burden to carry.
It was a great responsibility and burden, but there's something in my soul that would not let me rest until I felt like I gave everyone the same opportunity I had and gave them just that little piece of shelter.
Who gave you your shelter?
I would say God and my husband. Honestly, I will say time and time again, my husband was the first safe place I ever felt. He's the first person I ever felt safe with in my entire life. And I met him at 33 years old. So that's a long time to live unsafe. And that there's a lot of trauma and that comes with that. And so, and I did not accept the safety net, and that's a bad word, but I didn't even accept it for years. But I met him when I was 33.
Right.
But with work and God and like clawing down the walls, I feel like I'm probably at 50%. So I just finally feel like I gave the last person in my family their sheltering place, and kind of, I didn't launch them, but I just, gave them what they needed to go forward in life and get a clean start. And so, it's an interesting feeling. And now I almost feel like I can now live for myself, but I don't know if that's true.
Oh.
Yeah.
And where does that come from?
What's that?
So you've done this thing that you felt like you needed to do, I guess, for many years now.
Oh, gosh.
And then, and so you've worked through the list, for lack of a better way to put it, and you've done that. And what you thought would be true, once I do this, then I can do this.
Right.
But now you've done it, and you just said, and now I can, I guess.
Right.
Maybe.
I think it's such a new concept to me that I have to unlearn a lot of behaviors. A lot of behaviors. And also, I mean, some people wouldn't maybe have it at the same level as I have it with the childhood trauma and overcoming all those past things, but it's almost like someone coming out of, you've been a mother for 25 years and now all your kids are grown. So now what do I do? So I almost feel like that's where I'm standing. And you have to relearn things.
It is a different form of empty nesting. Right?
Yes.
You still have children at home, but
Yeah. And don't get me
you've
wrong.
launched your family.
Yeah, at no point did my family think that I owed them anything. Like, that was never a thing.
Right.
It was just me.
This was you.
Compassionate going, I have been where you are, and this is the best I know how to provide what you need to move forward. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway.
So what have you learned about yourself in all of that this year, though? Going back to the question.
Oh, gosh, going back to the question. Well, I mean, I learned that I was, I guess, living for other people. That's not even the right word. I don't know. I did learn, I have learned years ago, I just love the image of walking with God. And so I have learned that with Him, I can endure lots and lots of terrible things all at once.
It reminds me of this verse in Hebrews with the Israelites and Moses. And at the end of it, it's chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. It says, "But just as we have heard it, but the message they heard didn't do them any good since it wasn't combined with faith." And I feel like you have heard a message and you have combined it with faith. Mm-hmm. Like you hear from the Lord and you have a great faith. Mm-hmm. And I feel as if that has been what has anchored you.
Yes.
And maybe given you the strength and the courage that you needed to do this for yourself, for your family members.
Right.
And the prayer for them would be that they would be able to see eventually, maybe some do now, maybe some will in the future if they don't already, but that in you. Mm-hmm. You know, because I don't know, spiritual truth only becomes life-giving when we welcome it into our hearts with a deep faith.
Right. Yes. And you can't give someone that deep faith. They have to seek it and want it.
But you were showing it to them with no words. Mm. So I hope you can see that. I mean, and your faith didn't create these promises from God. The promises are already there.
Right.
Right? So He loves you, kind of like what I was saying. Like, those promises are already there without your faith. Mm-hmm. But you stepped into them.
Yeah.
And without pushing anything down any of your family members' throats.
Mm-hmm.
You put a spotlight on what that combination does.
Right.
Which is really big.
Well, thank you.
And I know it came with great sacrifice.
Yes.
You're like, yes.
Yes.
That can you add like 3 exclamation points to that in your brain?
Alice and I were kind of laughing, not laughing. She was laughing, but also wishing I would work a little harder at it. But she said, "Melissa, if you could just stop and write down." No, I told her, I said, guess what I did? I wrote down all the major obstacles, for lack of a better word, that I have endured since 2020. And I did them in bullets, like maybe 3 words each one.
Yeah.
And she was like, that's such a good start. Now, what if you actually went in and dug and really see what that did to your life? But yeah, we're growing.
Yeah. That probably feels very overwhelming right now, but I think maybe if we go back to your word uncomfortable for the year,
it's coming around now.
That seems to be where God might be going with this. Thank you for those bullet points. Now let's go back and be a little uncomfortable, and as you say, not just slap a Jesus sticker on it.
Right.
But open the door and walk in with Jesus.
Well, that's my year coming up, 2026. I was excited about it for a second, but now that I got my word of the year, I kind of want to go back and hibernate a little bit.
Well, we're going to be continuing on with this. Maybe not next week, but the week after with some wilderness promises.
Okay.
How's that?
I need promises.
Yeah, and these, I call them that because, of, the Israelites wandering in the desert, but there's so many promises from God that we know intellectually.
Uh-huh.
Like in our brains, and we can read them and we can recite them to people, and we may even know the address of where to find them in the Bible.
Uh-huh.
But we have a really, really difficult time accepting them in our own hearts. And I know for me, that's a lot of my struggle. It's like, well, I know that's true, but do I really? Like,
Right.
Do I accept it? Will I accept that into my heart and like truly believe it, not just intellectually, but emotionally and spiritually? There's a big difference.
That's
So,
where the uncomfortable part comes.
Yeah.
So I wrote these words to myself, and I read them every day
Oh.
as I try to build myself up
Okay.
and like step into whatever it is that's next and uncomfortable, obviously.
I love this.
It's
Okay.
really
I
simple.
didn't know this was coming.
It says, you are smart, you are strong, you are healthy, you are capable, you are loved, you are bold, and you are called. And so I just repeat those a couple times a day just to focus on me a little bit
I love that.
and not the fire burning around me.
Well, I think too, if you're like me, we can often get so caught up in praying for other people and the chaos swirling around, we forget to pray for ourselves.
Okay, so
like-
crazy that you say that.
We are important. We have to pray for ourselves too.
I was walking the other day and I started praying for myself, and it was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I've been there.
Okay, this year, pray for yourself.
Yeah, there you go. There's another New Year's resolution. Hey, it is so great to be back.
It is. And we're going to get uncomfortable this year.
Oh boy, watch out, everybody. Who knows what's going to happen this year? Thanks for joining us this week on The Sinner and the Saint.